We are here with Tim, the Jaguar Dooling. How you doing, my man?
I'm great. How about yourself? I mean, it's wonderful to be here. I'm in my house, but it's wonderful to be here on the podcast with you. I'm excited to have a nice talk.
Well, HeadKick Audio is definitely shooting for the best interviews for 2020. And this one was actually supposed to take place at the end of 2019. So we get to start a new year fresh with the champion, Ring of Combat. Let's talk about this title. You got it with the win over, what is his name, Ryan Cafaro, if I'm pronouncing that right. Doesn't matter. You beat him via rear naked choke. Round 3, right?
Yes, round 3. I mean, it was a really good fight. There was a lot of back and forth action involved. We were both, standing, striking up against the cage, working takedowns. And, for me, it's just, if you give me an opportunity, I'm going to finish it, whether it's on the feet or on the ground. You gave me the back, and once I'm on your back, that's nearing the end. So
I hear that, man. And, you really surprised me in that fight. You actually surprised me in a lot of your fights because you are a better grappler or submission fighter than you are a striker. And 9 times out of 10, you're fighting guys that are really good on the feet, and very rarely do you see you working for the takedowns. What happens is you use that durability and that granite chin you got there, and you lure them into this firefight, you clip them, and then they engage with the grappling exchanges, and that's where you do your best work and get things done. Is that ever like the game plan where, you know what, I'm just going to let them fucking hit me, and then I'm going to crack them, and then they're going to fuck themselves?
Yeah, I mean, it's really interesting that you say that because for me, I was always a striker.
Mm-hmm.
When I got started in MMA, I didn't have a whole lot of experience. I wasn't a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu athlete at all. I had never taken a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu class. In fact, the first time I put on a gi, I had already had 3 amateur MMA fights.
Mm-hmm.
So I went in, and I had never wrestled in high school or anything. I was a swimmer. So for me, cardio was always a thing. I played baseball. I was a middle infielder, so I had quick hands and quick feet, and I was into boxing. So, like, I got into MMA on I'm just going to, throw some hands with some guys and try to be quicker and tougher. And once I got into jiu-jitsu, like, that's primarily what I train now. At my school, Dante Rivera's Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, that's what we do primarily. It's a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu school, so my focus is there. And it's funny that, I've become that jiu-jitsu fighter now, but for me, it's always been, I want to stand and bang. I want to be on my feet, Everybody says, oh, every fight goes to the ground, and that's, pretty true. Every fight pretty much does end up at the ground at some point in time. Mm-hmm. But there's 100% chance that every single fight you are in starts on the feet. So yes. If you don't know how to throw hands, you're already, starting behind the 8 ball. I want to be good on the feet first, and now that I'm good on the ground, that's great, But for me, it's always been on the feet, throwing hands first. I'm all about the action-packed speed and athleticism of striking. It is a more athletically based art, whereas jiu-jitsu is much more technically, strategically based art. And I like both aspects. I like that. I think that I'm a pretty good athlete. I consider myself a good athlete as much as a good tactician when it comes to MMA, and you got to be both if you want to be good.
Well, your well-roundedness is evident. You got 3 knockouts, 4 submissions, and 2 decisions. So cardio, not an issue. Finishing ability, not an issue. Durability, it's there, 100%. So you're very well-rounded. And looking at your record, I believe you're 9-6 overall. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Something like that. Sounds right.
Okay.
But look at never been a big concern for me. I'm all about the battle of it. I want the toughest opponents. I want the biggest fight. Even if I lose, I would rather lose a good fight than win a boring fight.
Truth. And your record, I mean, you got your losses: Julio Arce, Dennis Paiva, Matt Bissett, all these guys are fucking killers, man.
Yeah,
I mean, there's no shame in any of those losses, and they were all very competitive fights.
yeah,
You know what I mean? You don't.
I think that I could win, given another chance, given another opportunity against any of those guys I've lost to in my past. I could beat anybody on any 6 of those guys that I've lost to. I could beat right now in my career.
Well, and I think that your progression as a fighter is a lot farther along. You're a lot better than you were when you fought these guys too.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you got to give yourself some credit here. You've gotten a lot better.
Yeah, I've gotten a lot more experience. You know, I was young. I'm still young. I'm only 27 years old. I got started in MMA not, with a huge backing of, these are the right things to do. I got into MMA. I was calling promoters, on my own, hitting the bag at the YMCA, calling up promoters like, hey, I heard you had a fighter drop out of your card. You need a guy to fill in. I got my first fight. I had to find a guy to wrap my hands at the events. I didn't even have, coaching. So for me, I got into it the hard way, and I've never done anything in it the easy way. I never padded my record. There's guys that are out there that take the easy fights, that look for the easy fights, just so that they can have a good record. Because, if you're not super popular, you got a couple losses on your record, how are you going to sell that person, that nobody who's got a okay record? Everybody wants to see the undefeated records, the O.
Yeah.
Want to see that O. So for me, it's just always been about having exciting fights. I want the best opponent so that I can have the best fight. I try to be the best fight of the night on every card that I'm on.
You usually fulfill that promise. You know what I'm saying? Your fights are very exciting. And very rarely do you get out unscathed. You go to war just about every time you go out there. You know what I mean? And you've only been finished once. What do you think you attribute that durability to? Or is it just a mindset? Like, fuck it, let's just go to war.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. I just always been kind of tough, even growing up, being 5, 6, 7 years old. I had older cousins who, we'd be WWEing, and I was the smallest and youngest. I was always, the little brother syndrome, fighting off your back. I learned JiuJitsu, through pure instinct growing up. And I've just always been into, being a rough and rugged kid, Some of my best years playing baseball were as a catcher. And that position, you got to be tough. You got to be rugged. You're taking balls, pitchers throwing, 75, 80 mile per hour ball bouncing off your arms, your legs, you're taking it off the body. You're getting slid into, people trying to run you over. I was doing that when I was 10, 11, 12 years old, And, I've just always been a kind of tough, rugged individual, I guess. I think I can attribute it to my dad, calling me a cupcake so much growing up. Just gave me a tough mind state.
There you go.
I said, I'll show you.
Yeah, you did. That gold in there behind you speaks volumes. And while we're on the subject of gold, you got another fight coming up.
That's right. I'm trying to stay active, I'll be defending this in February 21st at the Tropicana for the Ring of Combat. Last year I actually started a new job, and I had to take a lot of time off in the beginning of the year because I just had no time off. It was a new job. I was probationary for the whole first year. I didn't have a single day off.
Damn.
And once I got my days off, I fought 3 times in 3 months. The end of 2019, September, October, November, back to back, fight. And I decided to take the rest of the year off after that. I thought 3 times in 3 months was a pretty good little stretch. I'll take a couple months off and start the new year fresh. And that's been the plan, and it's been going well. And now I got more time off with the new year starting, so I'm hoping to make this next year even more fights, faster pace build for me. I know that I'm in a position right now that, I could springboard at any moment. I just need, the big win, the big moment, that big, viral hit to take it to the next level. I got the skills. I can compete with anybody at any level in my weight class. There's not a person on the planet I don't believe that I could compete with and have a good back and forth exciting fight. Win or lose, you know, that's always my goal, is to have that good fight. You know, winning has never been the end all be all for me.
Okay, and is there an opponent? Are we unifying? Are we defending?
Actually, I don't know if you watched the whole event or just my fight from the event, but that same night there was another big moment, probably the biggest moment of the event. Dennis Bazooka spinning back fist knockout.
Yes.
Me and Bazooka are going to be going at it for this bad boy.
Oh shit!
Yeah, so yeah, it's going to be a great matchup. It's a great fight, I think. Real exciting, and I'm excited for it. You know, I was excited. Initially, I thought that I would be unifying it with Buenafuente, who I had fought way back. I actually lost a decision to Buenafuente back my third professional fight, I think it was. And that was a fight I really wish I could have got back. I think that, you know, there was a lot of things that it was very early in my career, and at that point I wasn't quite ready for that matchup. Whereas now I was excited to unify the title. I was hoping to have that rematch. I wanted that back. But I think Bazooka, I don't even know how to say it. Bazooka, he's going to be a good match. I think it's an exciting fight. He's another local guy, so it's going to be a big crowd, a lot of energy, and I like that. You know, I like the energy. I like getting excited in there and being all fired up. So I think that is going to be a candidate for fight of the night. So better buy your tickets for that one.
Well, I'm all the way in Arizona, so I'll be watching via
UFC Fight Pass.
UFC Fight Pass, which is where this fight's going to be. I actually got turned on to the event. One of my guys, Travis Foster, fought in the same card, and he's a tough guy. He was fighting a really good wrestler, and he told me, "Yeah, it's this Ring of Combat, and you know, come and check it out." And I was just like, "Well, you know, I got to watch it on this bad boy, but hell yeah, I'll tune in." And the whole event was just good, man. The whole event. You know what I mean? I got to watch my boy compete. He lost, but you know, he didn't get finished. So and then I got to see 3 title fights. And then I got to you're my second championship interview from that event. I interviewed Jonathan Patti shortly after the event. So I got to learn a whole bunch of new names, a whole bunch of new guys. But I actually caught you in your fight over with Paiva on CES, and then back when you fought Bissett, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I've been watching you for a while, and I'm like, you know what? Hey, this is a great opportunity. Let's get this guy on. He's got gold. Like, this is gonna be good, man. It'll be good for both of us. You know what I mean?
You came across me. I'm big on doing these. I like doing the little podcast interviews. It's a lot of fun for me to meet new people and get more exposure. That's what I need. You know, I have the ability fight-wise. I need the exposure media-wise. And,
exactly.
You know, this is great. I really appreciate you taking your time out and, you know, learning about me, learning about all these fighters, you know, because it is cool to go to different areas now. Like, now that I've had a couple fights with CES, you know, I like those guys. They're really great guys out there, and it is a whole different pool of guys, you know. I didn't know who Matt Bissett and Dennis Paiva were until, you know, I had been out there a little bit. Now I know who the top 10 guys, the top 10, 15 guys are out there. I got my eye on guys in different regions now, because I know that my region is not the end all be all. Even though I'm top 10 in my area, I need to be top 10 in all the areas, you know? So I've been getting those eyes out everywhere, and it's cool to see that people from elsewhere are noticing me. So that's a good thing.
Well, yeah, I'm all the way across the damn continent.
Yeah, that's real cool to know.
You know what I mean? Yep. Okay, so we just got done with the holiday season, and, you know, I kind of like to not just ask questions in regards to, like, fight and stuff. I like to, you know, dive into, like, you know, the personal stuff, not like the sensitive stuff, but like the fun stuff, you know what I mean? If they want to share the sensitive stuff, that's always up to them. But what did you do over the holidays, man?
Well, I fought November, what was it? November like 23rd, like right before Thanksgiving. So I just went crazy. I ate as much as I possibly could. I think right after Thanksgiving, I almost weighed 180 pounds. And yeah, like the week right after Thanksgiving, I blew up. I was eating so much. But I'm back down now. I have been picking out though, that whole 2 months basically. I didn't do much of anything besides eat and go to work. I just did a whole lot of recovering, relaxing, and I actually just got back to training last week. Like back full time consistently, not just like going to the gym and working out a little bit, like back, on the mats, hitting stuff. I'm back hitting stuff. I had to give my hands some time to recover. That was actually one of the bigger bang ups for me, is my hands. As much as I like that to be the only thing to hurt after a fight, my hands, they do take a little while to recover. Little fingers, taking a lot of damage when they're getting thrown at things. But yeah, all November, all December, I just ate cookies and played video games and went to work.
All right. What kind of video games were you playing?
What's that?
Video games. What kind of video games were you playing?
Oh man, I got a PlayStation that I've been. Once my fight camp was over, I had some time to get on and I played again. But what I've been catching up on? Play a little Red Dead. Red Dead Redemption was my game, but not big on the online for that. You know what I like a lot? For Honor. You ever play that one? It's like
no. I'm not a video game guy, but I know that a lot of my listeners are. My co-host, before he had to leave the show, that was one of his questions. If somebody brought up video games, he's like, "Hey, what you play?"
Yeah, I'm big on the fighting games. I like the fighting, like Tekken. The Mortal Kombat. I like them too. I don't get a lot of old video games in though. Between work and training, I don't really have a whole lot of time. I have time when I'm being lazy. That's about it, and that's not all I get to do that anymore. Going the last year, I went fight camp, boom, 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 and man, I was burnt out after that. I'll tell you my day real quick, and you know what I was doing the whole past year, basically. So every day I'm up at 5:30. I take the train into work. I work in Philadelphia as a building operator, engineer, and I'm on the train every day, 6:30. Work all day. I don't get home. I take train home. I'm back home 6 p.m. Right from there, I'm going to training. I get to training at like 7. I'm training from like 7 to 10, 10:30, something like that. Head home. I'm home by like 11, 11:30, getting to bed 11:30, 12, and I'm back up 5:30 the next day, every day. No days off for a whole year. So I went crazy these past 2 months of, the weekends I was sleeping in, I was eating, I was playing video games and not rushing here, rushing there, worried about, I got to pack this meal because I'm not going to have time to even make a meal in between this event and that event. And it was tough for a little while, but I'm actually excited to get back into it. I've been lazy for a little bit and I'm excited to get back on my regimen and training and back on the grind. It's fun for me. That's all part of it. It's not just a fight. People think, oh, you just like to punch people in the head. No, it's a whole lifestyle of martial arts, and I wish I could do it all day, every day. I wish I could spend 8 hours, teaching and training martial arts instead of, crawling around in ceilings, working on pipes and wires and crazy stuff.
Okay, well, that's a pretty intense schedule. You know what I mean? I'm one of the fortunate ones that gets days off. So, but my days off, I'm usually spending working on my show or, kicking it with the family and whatnot. So I get a little bit of room to breathe, with my schedule. But that leads me kind of to my next question, because you take fights, like it seems like no matter what the weight class is, you'll fight, bantamweight, you'll do featherweight. I mean, where are you most comfortable?
Oh, I've never been to bantam. I don't think I could make a bantamweight. Nah.
Okay, I thought the Paiva was a bantamweight. That's my bad.
Yeah. Paiva has fought at bantamweight.
Then that's where the confusion came in. Okay.
He went up to featherweight and fought me. But yeah, I have fought at lightweight before. I think that I could down the line. Oh man, can you hear my dogs barking?
Yeah, I'm a dog guy, so it doesn't bother me at all.
Yeah. She barks at everything. She's crazy.
I got 4 of them, so no worries.
Yeah, I am a featherweight. I don't plan on going up or down anytime soon. I think down the line I could go lightweight. I did my amateurs at lightweight because the weigh-ins are different. But I think I'm comfortable at featherweight. I have been getting bigger and stronger lately, which maybe I'll move up to lightweight. But if I do make that jump, I'll probably take some time off and make sure that I'm properly, developed for that weight class. I'm not gonna go jumping into that weight class, trying to compete at least. If I do take a lightweight fight, it might be like just a real good fight for me. If I get a really good offered fight, yeah, I'll take it. I'm not opposed to that, but yeah, I'm definitely comfortable at featherweight and don't plan on moving anytime soon.
Okay. Well, again, that's my apologies. Paiva fucked me up there, I guess. So one of my last questions I got for you is, with this being a brand new year, brand new decade, as a matter of fact, the internet's having a lot of fun with that. But what is your future if you had your ideal 2020? What would it look like?
I mean, honestly, for me, I'm trying to buy a house. I'm looking at buying a house. That's my big goal for 2020, and winning fights definitely helps that. So of course I'm looking to win fights, and for me, I just want to take it to the next level. I know that I can compete with all these guys at the top. I'm competing with guys at the top level. I want to be showcased at the top level, and I am. My past 4 fights or so have been on UFC Fight Pass, and I'm trying to continue that streak, because I know that's really good exposure. I'm trying to be on the UFC events. I'm trying to get to those big cards, and that's really ultimately what I want. And if I can get 4 fights in this year, 5 fights in this year, that'd be solid for me. Yeah, I'd love to win them all and win them all in dramatic fashion, of course. But, for me, it's just about having good fights. Staying consistent, having good fights. So yeah, I'd like to have 4 or 5 fights in the year and have them all be excellent fights. So and make enough money to buy a house.
There you go. Now, if you got signed to a major organization, do you have a preference? Because I've heard some guys, of course, the UFC being the pinnacle of the sport, but I've also heard guys say, an opportunity at one wouldn't be too bad, or even Bellator. So do you have a preference, or?
Hey, I mean, as long as my paycheck goes up, I'm happy. If the number on my check is increasing, then it doesn't matter who I'm fighting for. I just want to have good fights. The promotion doesn't matter so much for me as just the thrill of it all. It's exciting for me. It's exciting to do this, and getting paid is just a bonus. I wouldn't mind fighting for one. Going out to Japan sounds awesome. My coach, he's not a huge fan of planes, so that one's difficult to convince for that. But Bellator, yeah, they got plenty of shows all over the place. I wouldn't mind fighting for Bellator. And obviously, yeah, the UFC, the pinnacle. You're making the most. You're getting
the biggest paycheck.
Everything is there. So, yeah, any of them. Even PFL is doing real well. They're making a lot of noise. I want, wherever. I'd like to go win more titles. Fight. I want to fight all the best guys. I'd love to go do cross promotional titles. I hope. Matt Bissett is actually fighting for the title. January, just in a couple weeks. Best of luck. I wish them the best of luck. Anybody who beats me, I wish them good luck, because then it makes me look better, of course.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I would love to fight Matt again. That was an awesome fight. I thought that was one of the best back and forth battles that I've ever fought, and for us both to be champions and have a rematch, I think that'd be a great, story, narrative, build up. So, I want the top guys and the top everywhere. Bring them all to me. I'll go out there. I'm no stranger to going into enemy territory and fighting them. So, anyone, anywhere, anytime. It's always been my motto. What's up?
I like that shit. Hey, there she is.
Come
hey,
on.
puppy.
Come say hi, baby girl. Ugh, you big. Come on. She's actually deaf. She can't hear anything. So everything that I do when I'm talking to her is all sign language.
Oh, okay.
Come on. She's looking at me. What do you want? Come on. Come stand in front of the camera. She knows I'm going to put her on the camera, I think.
Okay.
She's shy.
She's shy.
She is a shy girl for sure.
Oh, well, she's super cute, man. All right, last question I got for you.
All right.
Weight classes aside, what would be your dream opponent?
Dream opponent. And it has to be like right now? Like active fighters, are we talking?
Nah. Use your imagination.
Any fighter, anytime. All right. It's funny because my favorite fighter of all time is probably not a big common pick, and I think that's who I'd want to fight is my favorite fighter of all time because
absolutely,
that's for me that was the person who like got me into. That's who I wanted to emulate initially, and Ramina Sato, the Moon Wolf. You know who he is?
I do not.
You know who he is when I tell you his most popular highlight of all time. He's the guy. It's an old. I don't know if it was a Pride event. I'm pretty sure it was before Pride, but it was in the old boxing style ring. Mm-hmm. And he comes wiling across the cage, boom, 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 right into a flying armbar.
Oh, okay.
He's got the blonde hair in the video. In this highlight, and it's like 6 or 7 seconds, and he flying armbars this guy, and he's known for it. He's got plenty of flying armbar wins, but this is way back, and he was just a wild man back, like Shudo boxing, the Japanese boxing. That's like his style of coming in, wild flurries of punches, big takedowns, nasty submissions, and I love that, like the old Japanese, cage fighting, even though it was, usually in a boxing ring. Those guys were intense, man. They were like the original lightweight classes, because I've always been a fan of lightweight classes. Big guys, yeah, it's cool, they knock each other out, but the light guys, they move like lightning, man. They're so much fun to watch. And these Japanese guys were doing jiu-jitsu way before Brazilian jiu-jitsu became popular in the United States. So, like, when you watch those old Japanese ones, man, them guys go at it. They were heel hooking each other way back when, throwing flying arm bars up before guys even knew what an arm bar was. So I think I would want to fight Ramina Sato.
Okay. Yeah, I know the highlight.
We would be throwing in the pocket, throwing punches, wild takedowns, scrambles, back on our feet, on the ground. It'd be a fight for the ages.
Yes, I can definitely agree with that. All right, well, before I let you go, I want to give you your time to thank anybody you want. Take as long as you want. The floor is yours. Go ahead.
Well, I got to thank you for taking the time out to give me an interview, give me some time. I really appreciate it. HeadKick Audio, thank you very much. Best of luck in all your interviews. I hope you guys have a good 2020 as I plan to, all my training partners and my coach, Dante Rivera, his school, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu school, Dante Rivera's Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and Freehold. If anyone's interested in coming out, they got introductory classes. Come on out, come see me. We're training just like everybody else. So, all the guys in the rooms. I got a 15-year-old Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu superstar who's one of my best training partners,
Damn.
So all the way up and down the line, from all the guys there, I really appreciate it. And yeah, that's really it. My team. I just want to thank my team. I'm not big on, going out and getting sponsorships and doing this and doing that. I'm just in it for the fight. And those guys that are in the room with me training day in and day out, those are the only guys that I really need to thank for the ability to do that. They're the guys that give me the ability to go out and fight. So thank you to my training partners.
There you go.
Fans, like the fans too. You guys are cool.
Yeah. We're all right.
Sometimes. Fans are, sometimes. Depends where you're at.
That's the cool thing about being media. Media is I get to interview and fan out at the same time. So it's all good for me. I'm not very picky. You know, I like almost all the fighters are usually very responsive. We keep in touch. You know, 2019 was great. I'm looking forward to 2020. I'm looking forward to your upcoming title defense against Dennis Bazooka. Ring of Combat, what is that going to be, 71?
Oh, man, I don't keep track of the numbers.
Well, Ring of Combat on UFC Fight Pass.
UFC Fight Pass, February 21st.
Yeah, there you go. So make sure you go and peep that out if you're listening to this. I just want to thank you, the Jaguar, for your time. Sick nickname, by the way. Sick nickname.
Thank you.
But I want to thank you for your time. I know that it's been, you know, back and forth trying to get this thing. What do we got here? Oh, lift your head up a little bit. Lift your head up a little bit. There you go. That's what's up. That's tight. That's tight.
Apparel, if you're interested in a shirt, I'll have to send you one. But yeah, get some apparel. I'll be setting up a website soon to help funnel in some more of that stuff, you know.
Yeah, you got to get yourself a store set up, man. Because
all that
your
stuff.
shit's exciting. You're missing out on some dinero over here.
I'm so into the fighting, and I'm not a salesman. I just want to punch things.
That's why you get somebody on the sidelines to hook you up.
Yeah. Anybody out there looking to invest? Give me a call.
There you go. All right, man. Well, again, dude, thanks for your time. This has been a fucking blast.
Yeah.
Okay, I hope we get to do it again. You're fighting in February. Maybe we link up again in March after your win, your title defense against a really tough Dennis Bazooka. I'm really fucking stoked for that fight. That kid's a really, really good up and comer. So I'm really looking forward to that shit, man. So there we go. There's the gold right there. That's the money shot. The money shot. Yeah.
Anyway, there's your thumbnail for the video.
Absolutely. I'm gonna take that right there. All right, cool, man. Thanks for the time, and we'll talk soon, my friend. Take it easy.
Good. Yep. Great talking with you.